Hello everybody, you can call me Hunch, and today I'm going to be talking about XRP, and I'm just going to talk about it because I know it's in the headlines because of the SEC lawsuit, and I think there's a fundamental misunderstanding about decentralization with XRP. I get a lot of comments on my XRP videos where I'm kind of ripping it, calling them out, that, oh, they say XRP is decentralized, that you can run a node, etc., 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 right? They also criticize Bitcoin because they say, oh, the proof of work Bitcoin model is centralized. Look at all the hash power here. They put charts. They don't really understand them. They delete them. But let me leave you with this first clip to understand, so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about here, okay? So this is Safety Amos, and if you don't know who he is, he's a Australian economist, and he's a Bitcoiner and a Bitcoin maxi at that, so.
The nodes are what is sovereign. The nodes are what determine the rules of the game. The miners are a service provider. The miners invest capital up front. You know, they buy the machines, they buy the electricity, they buy the storage, they buy the locations, they pay the rent, and they invest all of that money based on the idea that if they behave according to what the nodes want, the nodes will reward them with Bitcoin. So the miners are in no position to dictate terms for anyone. You know, they've put up their capital up front, and they will only recoup it if they do what the nodes want.
Okay, so basically decentralization is in an essence about the node count, right? And how easy it is to run your own node, and right, that's where the block size wars came in, right? Because the bigger you make your blocks, if you add smart contracts, you add all these bells and whistles, as he refers to in this video, then it becomes less decentralized, right? Because it becomes expensive, complicated to run nodes, and they basically hard fork it, and your node I shouldn't say basically so much, I'm so used to that, but it doesn't do what it's intended, because you can run up original Bitcoin software because they soft fork it. So if you don't know what hard fork and soft fork, these are all components of decentralization. I think it's a very nuanced type thing. So I'm going to go over some of these comments and just show you how brainwashed these people are, right? Okay, so I was referring to Coin Bureau's tweet here, so I'm giving him credit, but he was saying, speaking of the ETH merge, I have a general question. Does the size of these staking pools pose a potential centralization risk? Okay, so here's one staking pool, and you can see it holds massive quantities of Ethereum, and so this means that that pool has more economic power and say over the network as per se a smaller, you know, someone who can self deposit into a pool, right? And even that is not decentralized, because it requires I can't remember what it was, $70,000 at one point. You know, it might be less now, it might be more. I really don't follow the Ethereum merge too much, but it's very uncentralized just by the fact that it's moving to proof of stake, right? So what is that proof of stake? Basically, it's you stake your coins and then you validate transactions. Okay, so it's clear that people with more economic power have more staking power, can influence different pools. Okay, if you don't think so, you might need to get your brain checked. Okay, so I said, bruh, what we've been telling you forever, how do you make crypto videos and not know this proof of stake will always lead to centralization with those who have more, right? And so I have a glimmer of hope, because I got more likes than comments. All these comments are basically proof of stake fanboys, whether that's ETH, Cardano, you name it, that just say or XRP, right? And I'm saying this because there was some XRP people in here, and it goes, don't you think the same can be said of proof of work? Centralization will gravitate those who can buy more hash power. And right, this is clearly mitigated or not mitigated, stated that this is blatantly false by this gentleman and multiple experts on the matter from multiple chains. I'm not just talking about the Bitcoin chain. I'm talking about economists, technical experts. I mean, I've been looking at this for 5-6 years now. Okay, and you can trust. I don't want to say you can trust me. That's why I'm into Bitcoin. Don't trust, verify. But I do want to see what's best for humanity, right? I do believe in the tenets of decentralization, right? And if you go talk to people who just talk about crypto, like Loopring or any of these proof of stake coins, they don't really understand the tenets of decentralization, right? They think they do, but they've just been marketed that, right? So now I'm talking about XRP because XRP is really, they lack a fundamental understanding of decentralization. I get comments from them, and I'm calling them out because a lot of those comments I was talking about, some were from XRP. I get XRP comments all the time because I truly think either there's a lot of bots in the XRP army, or they're just totally just fed the wrong propaganda. And it says, this guy said the Lightning Network was failing El Salvador, but BTC will only survive in the XRP ledger. Also, money and cross-border payments are not done instantly in banks. If they use XRP, they could switch to currencies in seconds. ISO, blah, 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 blah. Okay, first of all, we don't want ISOs, okay, because that is the system that we have. Central bankers, large institutions, the people that know people, right, are in this type of group. So I don't really understand why they keep pushing this. This is not this is the opposite of decentralization. And then you could see another guy who comments on a different XRP video. My last two comments, right? Based on the facts, SEC will lose their case. XRP will be the bridge between central banks. Okay. This guy doesn't understand what a bridge is. Okay. Anything could be a bridge. I could buy a house, sell it for another currency, and that's a bridge currency, my house. Okay. So I don't care about, this is just like fancy bells and whistles marketing. This is a red flag right away. Bridge currency. They say this all the time. It's so insane. These people they all think they're technical experts, and they have no idea what's going on. Okay, and it goes, XRP ledger will be an integral part of a large percentage of remittances payments worldwide. Ripple already has numerous partnerships with involved the XRP and XRP ledger. While you're not aware, I said, now listen to this. This is important. I am actively resisting it. And I would suggest that the intricacies of these issues matter. You are giving up a lot by promoting something that banks benefit from. The movement is to dissolve large banking citadels and to decentralize them further. Your idea just makes the system more efficient. This makes no sense. Now, if you're watching this video and you can't follow this, it's highly likely that you are unable to read directions on your assignments at class, right? Like when it says like the first thing you should do is fill in your name, and then you forget to fill in your name, okay? Because people and experts are telling you, right, that the information that you're being fed is blatantly false. And then normal Bitcoiners like me too, who are generally just trying to provide you with normal information, right, are also telling you that this information is just not blatantly false. And if you scurry all over the internet, you could tell you guys all say the same things, right? And it's like, it's almost like there's bots spinning up this information, and you're just like being brainwashed about it, right? You don't really understand energy conservation, but all of a sudden you're energy conservationists and ESG people and bridge currency people and ISO people, and claiming to be under the merits of decentralization, believe in the merits of decentralization, but then under the same breath talk about banks, right? And like, it's pretty disturbing, right? Because we want to be sovereign from these banks. I'm not saying banks don't have a place, right? But like, to promote something that the powers that be want is intensely disturbing to me, right? This is a huge problem, right? This is not crypto. This is a dysfunctional thought process, right? And it needs to be debunked excessively and by everybody. Okay. Now, I was gonna, go look at the XRP chart. I haven't really looked at it lately. What is this? XRP? I don't think this is it. XRP Tether. Okay. So you could see that it's just going down with Bitcoin, and it's going to follow Bitcoin, right? It never made a new all-time high this year from previous cycles, right? Previous cycles, if we zoom out, was this 2017? Where was the 2017 cycle? Okay, I think it got up to, maybe it did make new highs. I thought it different. I remember at one point it was like at $3 in the 2017 cycle. So I'm going to have to refresh up on what the prices were for XRP back in 2017, but I'm pretty sure it didn't make a new high during this cycle, okay? And this is it. I would beware, put some money in it if you want to, not financial advice. I think this thing is entirely based on the SEC lawsuit. If this thing loses the lawsuit and it's deemed a security, this thing is going down. These people own massive quantities of a pre-mine of this thing. And you also have to look at the incentives of these people, right? They have all the incentive in the world to feed you garbage, right? Like Novogratz did with Luna, that billionaire who was pumping Luna, right? He had all the incentive to pump it and then you become the exit liquidity. And these guys have the same, right? They have a massive pre-mine, and they're going to dump it on you, okay? And I don't care what you say, and unless I hear something astoundingly different, right? I will never be an XRP supporter, and quite frankly, I think it's shameful if you are, and not shameful because if you didn't know and you just buy XRP, it's shameful if you're gotten this far in the video and you are still lying to yourself that this is a good idea. So, not financial advice. I'm not saying don't do it. Do whatever you want. I believe in your sovereignty and your right to choose. But God, use some sense, please. Anyway, you could call me Hunch. This guy believes, and a lot of technical experts, I've gone through this many times, the base layer needs to be decentralized, and that's why it's so simple, right? And the nodes make it decentralized, not the hash power, but the economics play into that decentralization, right? He's saying it's like a commodity. You sell it to the nodes if you follow correctly, right? It's like it's like a way to keep someone on track, right, without being their boss, right? The nodes are there and saying, well, we're not going to put up with this, and you're going to get fired if you don't provide us with the type of service that we paid for, right? So anyway, you could call me Hunch. I would be very wary of altcoiners, man. They are shady. They are most of the time not real people, and they are there to prey on the weak-minded who do not understand crypto. You could call me Hunch.